Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, and welcome to episode number one of the Unapologetic Podcast. Yes, the Unapologetic Podcast is back, man. So thank you all very much for tuning in. If this is your first time checking out the Unapologetic Podcast, hopefully it won't be your last, man. This is a show with real everyday people. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of them shows we're going to be flexing and being phony on. We're going to be talking about all different type of topics. So I want to say thank you very much for your time. I got some special guests with me. Two of my best friends in the whole wide world, man. Two guys that I met when we were going to Jackson State University together, man. We met in college, and we have been friends for over 15 years, man. I got my boy Julius and my guy Mike Walls, man. What's going on, fellas?
Was good.
Yeah, man. What's happening with y'all, man? Man, appreciate y'all being on here, man. Appreciate y'all being a part of the show. Taking y'all time out. I know y'all busy, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate that, man. So
Anytime.
yeah, man. So what y'all been up to, man? Julie, what you been up to?
Man, just working, honestly, man. With the type of work that I do, still they label it as essential, but
Man.
I don't know, man. We're getting to a point where we're not very comfortable going in people's homes and stuff right now.
Yeah, man.
Just especially with Texas being a hotbed. So yeah.
man, that's crazy though, man. I just look. I don't know how y'all can just go into, you know what I'm saying, hop up in people's homes like that. I just don't, man. Like how the company would just allow y'all to do that, man. Like you would think like they have like some type of restrictions or something going on with that, man. I don't get it. But I mean, it is what it is, man. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, and I mean, we still are to a degree. We was asking a couple of questions, but for the most part, that's not very secure or solid because people can still, tell you something different and make it seem like, oh yeah, we all good, and knowing they've been exposed and everything. So I mean, it's one of those risks that you taking every day when you go to work.
Yeah, man. I guess so. I mean, people got to make that money. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I completely understand. And speaking of money, got my Mike Walls on there also. Money Mike. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you, Mike?
Man, the same with like Julia said, just working, man, working at home. That's it.
Yeah, man. I get it, man. Like I said, I get opportunity. I work. You know, what I'm saying, I work from home, but I also go out to the radio station also and work. But man, it's just I don't know, man. I'm just like super paranoid now, man. Since these numbers have been going up with COVID, I mean, it's been crazy like around here. Like, just about making of this before I got on here to do this podcast. Me and my girl was out, going to get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? We had to go pick up our order. I mean, they had like so many people out here, man. Like it's just crazy. Like people weren't wearing masks or anything like that, man. I don't get it, man. I can't play with my life like that. I just can't. If
Yeah,
Mike, would you say,
nah,
Julius?
I was just saying, I agree with you, man, because I've seen a lot of these restaurants full to what capacity they could be at,
Mm-hmm.
and hell, even some clubs have opened back up around here.
Man,
So
man,
I
that's
just think people
crazy.
work.
Man, that's crazy. Like I mean, we went to a restaurant, and I mean, it was like so packed out there, man. Like I mean, bumper to bumper, and like people are just like filed up in there. You had people outside. Like I just don't get it, man. I don't understand it. Mike, man, you
Yeah,
out there in Mississippi, man. So man, man, what's going on out there as far as with COVID-19, man? What are people like complying, or they tripping too?
Uh, non-compliant. Of course, good old red state. We do things our way. Traditionalist. You know what that mean in a sense.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, Trump
don't
supporters.
don't tread.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't tread on me. Um,
exactly. She called it what it is.
you know
Straight
they
Trump supporter.
they say you're impeding on my rights to tell me what I have to wear. But at
Right.
the same time, they go to a business and their business and they're mad because the business tells them that they have to wear a mask, and they're like,
Right.
"Well, it's in my right to not wear a mask," and their
Mm.
business have a right to not let you in if you don't have a mask.
Right.
Um, being in one of those businesses where I have to deal with the public,
Mm.
um, gonna come in. My city recently just passed the ordinance where there's no mask in no public places. You have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Um, you get $1,000 misdemeanor with first
Right.
offense.
Right. Right.
So
Man, they ought to start finding.
it's just
They ought to start finding people for that shit. Like honestly, like I don't know. Me personally, I don't understand like why are they trying to make this political. Like it's proven that a mask can help you. Now, man, I understand you said a red state and all that. Man, we know they Trump supporters and they just listen to everything Trump say. Trump ain't wearing a mask. They don't want to wear a mask too. But what they don't know is, if Donald Trump gets sick, he gonna have the best doctors in the world taking care of him. Who gonna take care of your ass when you get sick? And most of the time, like he ain't even coming out. He in a bunker. So like, I just don't understand this obsession with Donald Trump like that people have. Like it's like they just obsessed with this guy and they just listen to everything that he says. It's like unbelievable. I mean,
I,
I
I
don't know.
just I just feel like mindless people need something or someone to hold on to for belief, just
Mhm.
because they don't know how to go out and research and look into people for themselves.
Right,
They
right,
want they want somebody to just tell them what to do.
right,
And the thing about Trump is he plays on the ignorant side of a lot of people.
right. Man, I mean, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he just,
Right. Some he
now what you say, Julius?
and like you were saying, Tim, like when
Mhm.
you saying people don't understand what Trump has the best of the best. Trump is the United States number 1 citizen. So
Right,
when that means when
right,
you get sick, they're gonna priority amongst him amongst everybody.
right,
So where we may have to fight for a hospital bed and get lucky if a hospital bed becomes available, his health care is standing by waiting on him if something happens to him.
bruh. Thank you.
Yep.
That's his advantage over everybody else. So like people, man, I hear every day. My girl, she works in a hospital, and she's telling me about how the floors are overrun with COVID patients. There aren't any room for the COVID patients,
Mm.
but yet you got everybody still want to go to the cookout. Everybody want to still go to the party. They want to go to the club, and
Yep.
I mean, I don't see 2020 is the impediment of you won't do right to save your life. That's what
Yep,
2020 is.
yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you made me think about this shit. You remember, like, I don't know if y'all seen this, in our group, what I'm saying, our group chat or whatever, like they, we got a group chat, you know what I'm saying? It keeps us, what I'm saying, engaged with one another. But I sent y'all like a video. It was like a club in Atlanta, and they was having like a
Hmm.
pool party inside there. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but I'm
Yeah, I
like,
watched it.
how stupid is that? Like, are you crazy? Like,
I mean,
mm,
even here, what was it, about a week or so ago, dude? They had a COVID-19 party
wow.
because they wanted to see what was it? They wanted to see how many people would or would not get sick, and
Hmm.
then one person got sick and he ended up dying, and he was like he regret ever going to that party right before he died. So I'm
Hmm.
like, why do it? Why do it if
I mean, this is the way I put it. If you that crazy for you to go to a party among a bunch of people when all of this research is out here, you got all of these doctors on here. I think that me personally, if you get caught up at a party, I feel like you need to sign your life away or something like that, saying that if
basically
I
that's what
if
we're
I get
doing?
COVID, then I refuse help because they're telling you not to be out here, and yet you stupidly still trying to be out here. And I get it, man. People been locked up since what, about February, but still, man, you gotta have some common sense. And
But
I,
I'm gonna
bro,
say this though. The people, if you notice, the people that's struggling with this the most is either those that don't like to be told what to do,
right,
or those that are so used to going out every weekend, going to the club, going to the movies. Like it's the outgoing people
right,
that's struggling to stay home. So you have these parties popping up. You have these the clubs backpacked
right,
because these people refuse. They can't stay home. Like me, hey, okay, cool. Let me order my groceries. I stay at the house. I do it
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
You know, I go to work and I come home and chill. Like
right.
that's what I enjoy doing. Let me have my small little vices and let me chill out. Leave me alone.
Right. Yeah, man. But I guess you like, man, you on some grown man shit though, Julius. You know what I'm saying? Like you got kids and stuff like that. And and I think that every guy just kind of reach a point where they should. Where you just like the hell with it. I want to be at home. You know what I'm saying? Like the streets don't really do what they used to do. Like, man, when we were in school, y'all know, man, we used to go hang out and stuff like that. We always wanted to do something, but like now it's like I don't know, man. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like a homebody. Me being at home, it don't really bother me as much. I just think that people just me. I just think that people just love doing what people want doing. They just love doing the opposite. Like I
Yeah,
said
they love.
before, like if they were telling you not to wear masks, right? Don't wear a mask at all. Everybody be flocking to the store trying to get a mask. I ain't listening to them. But it's the fact that people telling you to wear a mask, now all of a sudden, like you don't want to wear one. Like it's like people just like love. They love doing the opposite of what the world or society tell them to do. I guess it makes them feel cool or stand out, but man, that's just ridiculous. That's
It
idiotic,
is.
man.
It is, but a lot of people just they don't want someone telling them what they have to do,
Right.
even if it's for the benefit of their health. Ah,
Mm,
you don't tell me what to do. Okay,
yeah.
when you get sick,
But
don't come hollering to me, but you need help. You need
Right.
medical care.
if,
Mm.
I mean, I get
if
it.
you look
It's
at it,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at it, look back during your childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how the kids who couldn't stand their ass in a straight line, they're the same ones who gotta go out.
Right.
yeah,
The ones the ones who always couldn't listen to follow the directions and as
Mm-hmm.
kids, they're the same ones who are doing it as an adult.
Right.
and
And it's worse
those are the
now because
majority
now
that sleep.
Right.
they have adult freedoms now, so it makes it worse.
Right.
And people, oh, you can't tell me what to do. I'm grown. Well, you live in a country of laws and rules,
Right.
so you're gonna always have to be told what to do. It's
Right.
just, I mean, you would think if somebody like you would have thought if somebody said, "Hey, there's a deadly virus going around.
Right.
Stay at home." You think the doors would have been boarded up? It would have been like the days of the Bible. You would have thought people would have had the lamb's blood over the doors and everything. But it's the total opposite. They're like, "Hey, it's a plague going around. Well, that's cool.
Mhm.
Got a concert next week. I'm going to the concert."
Man, God, don't need your money, man. God, don't need it. You know what I'm saying? God is straight. I get it. I understand, like, they got to be on the road and make money, but he going to be all right. I just, like I said, I just can't wrap my mind around this. Like, all of this research going on. And like I said, I feel like, why make this stuff political, man? Because, I don't know.
Because Donald Trump said so. That's why.
Yeah. Well, like I
He's
said,
basically turned this because his campaign is not doing so hot. He's
right.
turning
And
it
it's
into a
election.
political thing, and it's
Yeah.
showing.
Right.
I mean, even with him trying to overrule the CDC and them doing all that crap, now
Right.
there's no information available to the public. It has to
Mm-hmm.
all go through the government. Now they are
Right.
filtering out what they want you to see
Right.
from the truth. It's like, dude, like you're not helping
Right.
nobody. You're not helping this cause. You're not helping your campaign. You're not helping anything. All you're doing is making it worse.
Right.
And weird enough, every time I think about everything he's doing wrong, I think back to this one quote I
Mm-hmm.
heard, and it weird enough, it came from Rick Ross on one of his songs, and he was talking about Trump. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, all he said was, "Sometimes we have to burn it down
Right.
and let somebody burn it down and tear it up, so that
Mm-hmm.
we can get the right people there to build it back up the correct way it should be."
Right.
And
Right.
he's weird. It's like he's damn sure tearing everything down, every system that we had in place, the checks and balances. He's damn sure throwing everything off, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Right.
okay, you throwing it off real bad, but now it's up on us as the people to make sure we get the right people in office with the correct intentions to get everything back on track or even better.
Right. Well, I mean, you got a lot of people out there, they say that they like his stance on like as far as with the economy and the economy before the pandemic. It was doing real good and stuff. I mean,
You know why? A lot of that stuff was still piggybacking off of what Obama administration did.
I mean,
That's what people not realizing. They're giving him credit for stuff the Obama administration did, which it takes almost 8 years to get that stuff in place because you can't do everything you need to do in one presidency because that first term you're steady trying to correct or fix whatever the issues were from the previous regime.
oh man,
So now,
Julius, I understand that. I'm just saying what people
yeah,
say. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like,
but
I'm just
but that's
saying, like
showing,
that's why people
but
say they
that's
love him
showing,
so much.
but that's showing the ignorance. He's over here gloating and boasting. That's just like prime example. Okay, the Warriors won their first championship with who? Steve Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
Who built that team up? Who put that foundation in place, and who was stripped of it? Mark
Mark
Jackson.
Jackson, yeah.
That's why I appreciate like Steve Kerr didn't boast and brag about that first championship like he did all the legwork. No,
Mm-hmm.
he acknowledged the fact Mark Jackson built that team and put it together. He
Right.
was just able to kind of help push them, but who's to say Mark wouldn't have got them that championship either had he
True.
not been given a chance?
True.
And that's Trump. You coming in with a well-armed machine, somebody else can put it in place for you. I did this. No, you didn't. It takes forever for your policies to get instituted. They got to get voted on.
Mhm.
Then the government and stuff, the Senate go in recession for I don't know how many days and weeks, like they on vacation. Then they come back and they disagree again, and they take another vacation. It's like, no, it takes a while for your policies to really be instituted and to really be felt.
Yeah.
Like it's only a handful of things you can actually instantly change, but those are not things that we're gonna feel majorly.
Right. Well,
and
go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. This man had the nerve to say Obama and Biden dropped the ball on the coronavirus. It wasn't even out then.
But you know what?
I saw that, man. I was like,
But you know what? Obama warned of something coming. Nobody took his warning.
Right.
He warned that
always
there was
have to
something
have a
coming.
contingency plan about it. As president, you should always look forward to contingency plans of every circumstance that could possibly happen, whether it's economic or warfare, all political, everything. You should have some type of contingency plan in step. You may never need it. You need to have a contingency plan on what if an asteroid fell out of the sky and headed toward Earth. You need to have a plan in place for that. You don't want to have it in place, but you need to have it in place.
Right.
You need to have a plan in
Right.
place in case a drought hit. We never know if a drought hit. What if the Mississippi River dry up all of a sudden?
Right.
Do we have a plan in place for that? You're supposed to have these contingency places, whether or not. So, but to blame somebody for something that didn't exist or at the time is ridiculous.
Right.
I'm gonna blame Tim. I'm gonna blame Tim because my hair fell out. And he had.
Look,
Tim,
don't put that on me, man.
It's Tim's fault. I went bald because of Tim.
Nah, don't put that on me, man. I wasn't the one that was rocking cornrows in 03, you know what I'm saying? Like pulling my hair back, you know what I'm saying? Like shoes.
I was looking like Scottie Pippen, man. I was looking like Pippen.
Yeah, that Joe Kim Noah running around with the ponytail.
Man, Pippen going through a midlife crisis, man. He divorced his wife and stuff like that, man. He going through a midlife crisis, man. So I'm gonna let Pippen slide.
He reinvent himself, man.
Hey, man.
He's just doing it the wrong way.
Hey, man. He's just going through a midlife crisis right now. That's all it is. I don't know what. He was like, I've been married all those years. I'm free. I know he was dating a young girl and stuff like that, man. Being a sugar daddy. Look, I get him, man. Pippen trying to do his thing. But man, but back to that. Now, what'd you say, Mike?
White cheated on him with Future.
Right. Oh man. Oh my God. Wow.
Oh, so that was true.
Yeah. Wow. You kidding? I thought that was a joke. That was legit.
Well, they say it was, but I wasn't there, so I don't know. They left me at the house that day.
So. Speaking of at the house, let's move on to the next subject of Jada Pinkett Smith and August Alsina, man. I think what a great segue. Scottie Pippen, wife cheating, back to Jada Pinkett. Okay, now so we all know about August Alsina interview. Exactly. which right now I'm wearing an entanglement shirt. Y'all can get that on teesprings.com. Description gonna be down below. But anyway, Jada Pinkett. Okay, of course we know about August Alsina interview. He talked to Angela Yee, and he talked about his relationship with Jada Pinkett. And he talked about how Will Smith gave him the blessing to have a relationship with Jada Pinkett. So of course Jada Pinkett responded on a popular show, Red Table Talk, on Facebook, and Will Smith was there at the table with her, and they talked for like 13 minutes, which I feel like, come on, man, like 13 minutes, like that's all y'all gonna give us. But
I
anyway,
think it was a conversation had before that show.
Oh yeah, of course.
I guarantee you, it was the longest 13 minutes of Will's life.
I mean, Mike, I don't feel that way though, Mike. I really don't. I don't feel that way because I don't know. I really can't say that because there have been Julius, there have been rumors out here for years that these two have been swingers. Like
swinging is one thing because that's a mutual agreement, and y'all only agree to do that together. But when you step out just because y'all separated, and you step out, and now you involved with somebody heavily, yeah, that's a different type of pain right there. Because swinging, y'all both doing it together, but you stepping out, that's something totally different.
But who's to say that Jada Pinkett had? Who's to say that Jada Pinkett had feelings? Jada Pinkett wasn't the one that was up there, you know what I'm saying, on an interview and airing out dirty laundry. August Alsina was. Alsina.
That's because she whipped it on that young man. That boy ain't never had no old cat like that. That's mature stuff to do something to you now.
And listen,
you talking about Jada? That's some mature stuff now. That's some grown woman, and he couldn't handle it. He was sick because she was like, "This, no, we can't do this. Can't do this no more. I'm going back to my husband." Nah, he was hurt because she was whipping it on. He must have had that baby face playing in his head. That damn whipping pill.
That Marvin C. That Marvin C. That say slow rolling. You know what I'm saying?
She had that boy gone.
Man, I just feel like the whole relationship thing, like he don't want that caught feelings. So I mean, I think that Jada Pinkett, if her and Will had this mutual agreement, she stuck to the code. She wasn't the one out here, you know what I'm saying, out there catching feeling for August Alsina. He was the one that aired out the dirty laundry. But I just think that it made them both look bad because Jada took advantage of that dude, man. She knew like he was broken. That dude was had a lot of emotional problems and stuff like that, dealing with debts and all that. I mean, come on, man.
But can you really say she took advantage of him?
Hell yeah! Yes.
Like she was.
Yes. Yes, you can.
So y'all saying she pulled she did it like she did Kane on Menace to Society. He was all upset.
Oh my goodness, Julie. Why do we live in a society now that it just seems like guys can't get taken advantage of by women? Why is this? Come on, man. Like why we act like that?
Now, I'm not saying she didn't, but at the same time, I mean, she could have known not to cross that barrier, and she did know not to cross that barrier, but he could have pushed it too. I mean, you never know.
I don't know, man.
True, it does take two. And obviously, he wasn't breaking that much to where he was like, you know, you shouldn't do this. He went with it. I mean, yeah, it's Jada.
I don't know.
I mean, it's Jada. Shit.
That last round up. Yeah, I mean, when you want that to be your last on this earth?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. I mean, she got some powerful stuff, man. He brought the boy back to life. He back doing music. I mean, shit, it revived his ass, so he damn sure didn't die.
Which I feel like that was a PR stunt, Jules. Like, for real. I feel like that was a PR stunt. He probably was sitting on that story. Yep. He was sitting on that story for a long time. And just like all the other people, like all the other greats, Julius, like Usher and all these other cats that always seem to go through problems, like Kanye West, always got some music on the horizon. Like, what is that? That's like PR 101 now. Like, come out with a scandal in order for you to boost your career or your album. And that's what he did.
some artists, if you notice, they don't put out music unless they got some type of drama going on. It's very few that you can find that just genuinely putting out music without no drama. You don't hear their name in the media like that all the time. Hell, even when they putting out good music, the media don't even really speak on it.
Yeah,
But it's like they got to have something going on. And I see what you're saying about the PR stunt.
it's the
And
wave, man. It's the
that might be
wave.
that might be the case for him. You know, he might have needed something going on, something major, but
Uh,
at the same time, that's at the expense of what a lot of people consider a very successful black marriage
right,
that a lot of people try to model and be after and you know be like because you know everybody looked up to Will and Jada in the sense of as far
right,
as marriage goes
right.
though, and it's like they're willing to jeopardize that to try to help him get his career back together.
Mm,
And, I mean, that's a lot to lose.
right.
Just looking at it like that for me, but I mean, I see
Mm.
what you're saying, but that's a
I
I,
lot to
ain't looking
lose.
for that weird ass marriage.
yeah, exactly, man. Like,
Some people do, but a
I
lot of
just
people do. A
why?
lot of people
Like
do.
that's the point. Why? Like, why? Because it's
I
like
don't.
longevity. Like, I guess because of the
Yes,
longevity standpoint.
it's the longevity. It's the
Uh,
kids. Like they've been successful
man,
together. Like he's
I
still
would never buy
like
that. I would never buy that
I,
shit, dude. I'm sorry.
I'm.
Look how
Hey,
weird them kids is. Like, can we just take
I
a
don't look
moment to
like
say how
that.
look how weird weird they are? Like, they
Yeah,
just like
they are. Except for the oldest one that Will had before Jada. He normal. I can't
hold on.
speak on
What?
them
Hold
other
on. What
two.
happened? That Will
The
had
one that
what? Will
then
had
Will
before.
have a son
Okay,
before Jada.
okay. So
That
that's
kid,
not Jada
he
Pinkett said.
cool.
Okay,
Yeah, he
gotcha.
cool. Them other ones, I
You,
can't speak on them other ones because yeah, I'm lost on them too.
I don't know. I just never buy. Look, I never model my relationships after nobody because I feel like like I don't even feel like it's their fault when you find something out about them. It's your fault. It's your fault for clinging on to people and like, oh, they're so happy. Oh, they're so wonderful. I mean, like Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like, how are they the standard? Like, how are they the standard? She comes out with a Lemonade album and all of a
Yeah,
sudden
he done
everybody
cheated
find out
on
he
her
cheated. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why do people try to model their relationships after other people like that? Like, live your own
I ain't
life.
like
because they don't
I ain't
know
like that
how.
celebrity shit neither.
Yeah. I'm like, come
They
on,
don't
man.
know.
I didn't like
A
that
lot of
shit neither.
a lot of people, believe it or not, don't know how to live their own life or even know what that is because they were never taught that growing up. And that's what I look at. What's the difference with a lot of people?
Oh man.
Is how they were taught growing up. Like my mom taught us to be very independent. Don't rely on everybody else, but at the same time, look at other people, like even your friends or your relatives, and even if they seem to have some success, ask questions, engage,
Right.
look at what they're doing, and look at what your situation is, and kind of decipher, not sit there and try to model everything that they do and you incorporate it in your life, and because the path that they went might not be the path you go. That's not the
Right.
path for you. So, I mean, I got a few people that I look at relationship wise and stuff, and I'm like, okay, what are they doing? And I
Right.
sit back and I look. And if I could talk to them, I ask them a question like, okay, how did y'all handle it? Or did y'all have a situation like this? If y'all did, how did y'all handle it? And I peek
Right.
everybody's brain. I don't sit there and be like, man, I'm finna follow Mike Brown to the T. I'm finna shave my head. I don't even need glasses, but I'm finna go get glasses. I'm finna go get the same car. No, that's stupid
Man,
because
tell me about
what
it.
works for Mike doesn't work for me. But it's some things that Mike do that I'm like, okay, I need to incorporate this some kind of way, but in my own little twist.
Right.
People can't do that because they don't know how to think for themselves.
Man, look, Jules, my grandparents have been married for 57 years. 57.
Boy, bless their heart. Bless
And
their heart.
I don't even model myself around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like longevity and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? That's important. And I've seen them throughout my entire life, my entire 33 years of existence, they've been together. But I would never say that I want to have a marriage like my grandparents. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what really be going on. I know they care about each
And
other, but I
Yeah.
don't feel like that. I don't feel like you should model your relationship around anybody. Do live your own life.
and to be honest with him, we can't model our relationships about the ones ahead of us because they don't have the things that we have. We have
Right.
to deal with social media. That's
Right.
that's a whole nother monster that they didn't have to
Man.
deal with.
Right.
And so it's Julius and his crickets time in the background. It's a whole nother monster.
Yeah, man, I'm outside, dog. Outside with you.
But like I had a couple, man. They were customers. They've been married for 70 years, man. They both
Wow.
got married when they were 18,
Wow.
and the wife, unfortunately, she died at the beginning of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was like, he said, I don't know what to do without my wife. He said she was my best friend, my everything.
Right.
Of course, in our eyes, when we see perfection like that, and I talked to him before too. He said it was rough because the era that they grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have that era growing up then, and they looked out for each other for strength.
Right.
To keep going through what they had the hardships of. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have that now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's so independent. People don't
Right.
know how to come and be one anymore. They don't.
Yep.
It's oh, I got mine. I'm gonna take care of mine. You take care of you. When it don't, it
Mm.
shouldn't be like that.
Right.
Relationships about two becoming one.
Yep.
But we keep it as, oh, I'm gonna do this for me, and you do that for you, and whatever happens, if it come out good, it come out good.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
feel
that's
I
why
feel
our
like you just
relationship.
gotta, Mike, you just gotta, man, people just gotta let go of the selfish shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they just gotta let it go. Like people still
Yeah,
want to
no
hold
how.
on to the things that they feel like make them who they are. Like, man, come on, man. Like there's some things about you for the good of relationship gotta change. I was having this conversation with my girl earlier today, right? So I said like we were talking about how our relationship has evolved, you know what I'm saying? Especially, you know what I'm saying, our son is here too. And I was like, I had to change myself in order for our relationship to work. I mean, it was times like we'll get into it like really, really bad or something. And this was during the time, this was before we actually stayed with each other. I would get in my car and just drive home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't trying to compromise. I wasn't trying to listen to nothing. You know what I'm saying? All I cared about was what I cared about at the time. If I would have kept that
Salute,
same energy, if I would have kept that
salute
same
Tim
energy, I
Jones.
wouldn't have I wouldn't have been there. Y'all know me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know me. I will say it. I got a lot of asshole tendencies. You know what I'm saying? Like really, that I have to suppress, and I have. You know what I'm saying? But I had to change that in order to make my relationship survive. People don't
Tim,
want to
Tim,
let stuff go. You know what I'm saying?
Tim,
They don't want
Tim
to let it
hurt
go.
my feelings. Tim hurt my feelings. Made me feel like we
I,
weren't
I,
friends no more.
hold
Hurt
on,
my
wait,
feelings.
shit,
wait a minute.
Ain't,
I
ain't
ain't
the
want to
right,
What
get a
did
Mike?
I
chicken
do?
sandwich.
Wait, what did I do?
I was scared to get a chicken sandwich.
Hold on. What did I do? What did I do, Julie? What did I do
I don't
to
even remember, man. I said, Mike, did
probably
I
was
do
telling me
something to
some
you?
probably
I
was
said,
telling
Huh?
did I do something to you? They're like, no, what you mean? I said, man, Tim won't call me back. Tim won't respond to my message, leave me on red, won't say nothing. I said, man. I said,
man,
what the hell I did to Tim? I'm like, God damn, Tim, don't fuck with me no
man,
more.
nah,
Man, shit.
probably was telling me something I needed to hear. I guarantee like
I don't even
y'all
know what.
always
Nah, it was
eh,
around the time I was still going through all this stuff a couple years ago. I'm like, damn, what I do to Tim? I'm like,
nah,
shit, did I piss
man,
Tim off?
nah, it
Like,
probably
oh
you
That
shit.
boy
probably
called.
was telling me something I needed to
That boy
hear.
called. That boy called me one day. Hurt him.
Man, what? Y'all
Man.
were helping me out at the time. I'm like, what the hell did I do to Tim, man? I like, God damn, I said Tim when he answered the phone, but he
man,
responded in the group chat. I'm
man,
like, God.
hey, I was going through too. Like that's something that I ain't even really tell y'all. Like I was really going through it at the time, man. I was really like going through it. This was like during the time, that I lost my job. You know what I'm saying? Work. Anybody know? I was a retail manager, and that's when like the store that I worked for, they went out of business. And even though I was working at the radio station at this time, it was part time. It was a part time job, and I couldn't transition because at radio stations, man, they got their budget until the next, you know what I'm saying, until like the next wave. So, man, I
Mm-hmm.
went for like 3-4 months, like, man, struggling. Like, I thank God for my girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it weren't for her, like, holding it down. And this was like right, you know what I'm saying, at the beginning when Paxton was born. Imagine how that made me feel. Like, man, my girl had to look out, you know what I'm saying, had to do a lot of things, you know what I'm saying,
No,
for Paxton. I wish
I've
that,
been
I
there.
mean, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like I was going to counseling at the beginning, but I couldn't go anymore because like the insurance and stuff like that. I ain't have insurance anymore. it was just a dark time for me. You know, it was just so dark, bro. And like
I know.
I said,
That's what I'm saying.
that's why
I
I
was
just
there
went off the
too.
grid. I just went off the grid. Like that's just the truth. I went off the grid, and that's the reason why. Like I would see y'all, you know what I'm saying, talk, but I just felt like, man, who am I right now at this particular time to give anybody advice? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm up here
I was the same way.
asking my girl for bread. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't
Hey,
got nothing at
I
the
was
time. You know what I'm saying?
I was
It's
the
crazy.
same way. I was the same way, but I ain't gonna lie. When I finally just started back responding in a group chat, that started helping me out
Right.
because, like, for a little while, I don't know if y'all know, with the situation I had a few years ago, shit, I was
Mm-hmm.
living with my sister and
Mm-hmm.
her husband. I'm
Right.
like, now that sucks.
Right.
That like to have to
Mm-hmm.
lose everything and start over now having to live with my older sister, her husband. You lose a vehicle. You got a job, but you lose a vehicle.
Right.
You can't, you ain't got no money. You're broke. My brother-in-law giving me money. I'm like, damn, dog, I feel like I'm getting an
Yeah.
allowance. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, this is terrible. I had to get my shit together.
Yeah.
It was just one of those times, man. It just be rough. Like, I ain't have nothing. All I had was my TV, my Xbox, and my clothes. That was it, legit.
Right. Man.
And it was just like it's crazy.
It
I don't
was,
know, man.
man. I was like I said, I was just going through so much stuff mentally. You know what I'm saying? And I was like,
What y'all want?
I was just in a horrible, terrible place at that time. And I was like, man, and I just had to figure some things out. And I'm glad, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it in hindsight. I'm glad I went through these situations because it made me a stronger person, and it made me a better dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it made me listen. Like I said, it was just an ugly time, man. I mean, bro, I
Oh,
push
trust me. I was the same.
I push my girl to the limit. Like, man, it was
I
just
know
like
where you're from.
I was just on so much stuff, man. I thank God for it. Like any other woman I know for a fact would have left me. You know what I'm saying? For some of the stuff that I put her through. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I think about that now, man.
Yeah, I
We
understand
all
completely,
we
man.
all want a perfect life, man. We
Mm-hmm.
want life to be perfect, but it's the ups and downs and the adversity that we go through that help mold our life and make us more appreciative of what we can have.
Right, right.
Uh,
Man.
like those downs can really get you down, but if you let them keep you down, then you're gonna have to settle for what you're in. But
Right.
it's the
Yeah,
bounce back that make everything worth it. When you look back and say, "Damn, look where I came from." Man, damn, I
Yes.
thought it was over with, but look at the mountain
Yes.
I done climbed. Like it makes it better, man. And we're all one of those people. We're all the same group of friends that when we put our good guy first, and we start hitting up that damn mountain, man, we know we can't be stopped. And when it
Yep.
gets to that point where you're like, you know what? Look what I came from. What I
Right.
went through, man. Shit, I can appreciate this. Hell, I know people
right.
now.
Man, speak,
They'll
man.
throw $100 away and don't look at it, man. I throw $100 away. I'm like, man, I remember when I was broke. I remember when me and my mama
Right.
ate the
Man,
same
Boy,
bowl.
speak.
you talk
Speak.
Me and my
100.
mama ate the same bowl of chili. We go
Man.
get one bowl of chili from Wendy's and had to share that bitch, man. And
Oh,
I look at that, man. I think about that shit and cry. And I'm
mm,
like, man, I ain't gotta do it no more.
man.
Mm-mm.
Shit, I'm blessed beyond because I look at what I came from.
Right.
Cause
So
he
shit,
lost
I
in
mean,
shrimp.
Man.
I can go get 17 boxes of crab legs if I want to right now, and won't take a fee at it.
Hmm.
Nope.
But it is what it is.
Man, the greatest moment of my life was like a couple weeks ago. And, you know, when me and my girl went into like you know what I'm saying, the housing complex, and we put a down payment down for our first house. And it wasn't even for me, you know what I'm saying? It was for Paxton. It was for him, man. Like for him to have a life that I never had. Like my mom did her best, man. Shouts out to my mom. Incredible. Man, y'all know my mom, man.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
Down,
know her.
down.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, she did her best, man. I remember like Jules, I remember like me, my two brothers, my sister, like my mom used to take us like on walks. And like we think that we on like a little nature walk. She was like, yeah, we on a nature walk. We're on a nature walk. And at the same time, while we looking around, looking at little stray cats and dogs and stuff like that in the neighborhood, she around that thing looking for like change that somebody may have dropped on the ground. Or we'll walk all the way to the store, and she had like a friend that used to like come out to the back. He worked in a deli just to drop off some food where she can make us like a stew or something like that. rice and butter all the time. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know, like, even though you get food stamps, man, in the middle of the month, them food stamps run out if you got a bunch of people in your house. And, you know what I'm saying? So those tail end, you start getting hungry. And I thought about that, bro. I'm like, man, I want to give my son an opportunity to start that I never even thought that I would have, man. You know what I'm saying? I never thought, I never imagined that I would be in this position. You know what I'm saying? At this particular point. Like, I'm just telling y'all, I'm just being real. Because I never really thought that I could really truly get to this particular point. Rather it was self-esteem, rather it was like just issues of me not knowing my self-worth. But I'm just so grateful that I have the opportunity to give him something I never had, man.
That's where your prayer and your faith came in at, because you didn't give up,
Man.
even though you wasn't asking for everything you get. You were just asking to get through the situation.
Yes.
But because you stayed so down, so prayerful, and just thankful, you were blessed more than you can imagine. I
Man.
mean,
Yeah.
even now, like, I've been blessed to bounce back from that situation. Uh, Paid all my bills on time. Uh, I have a little extra money, but of course, with kids and stuff, they always want to eat it up, literally.
Yeah.
So, and then now I'm walking into another situation, and it's like I'm not even stressing it. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm content.
Mm.
I'm at peace with it. I'm
Mm.
not mad. Yeah, I'm a little hurt. I'm not gonna deny
Right.
that.
Human,
I'm
man.
hurt,
Human.
but at the same time, I'm not broken down by it. I'm not
Yeah.
letting it stop me, because I have several plans in place, and like
Right.
I've told, when everything starts going right, either be on board now or don't jump back on board. I don't want to see you when stuff done finally turned around for the positive, and now you want to come back, or you
Right.
want to refix stuff. Like, because me, I'm the type of person. If there's an issue,
Mm.
let's work on it.
Yeah.
If it's something with you personally, I'm here to help you in any kind of way you need me to. But when people choose to not want to work on themselves and not acknowledge that there's an issue, but try to always point the finger,
Hmm.
at that point, I cannot no longer accept that. That is, I'm not going to take blame for that. I'm not going to carry that weight. I'm not going to I'm not going to roll over and let you just run me over and put it all on me, because it's
Mm.
like I know what I'm doing.
Right.
I know my worth. And it's not just because people come and tell me or anything like that, but I see it. I know how I was raised, and I know what I'm doing. And if I didn't care, I wouldn't have been here in the first place. I would have been left, been never came back, whatever. I would have been gone.
Right.
But that's not the case. And I mean, I just believe, just staying steadfast, staying prayerful. It helps a whole lot. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like number one. Like, even me, for a little while, I got slightly sidetracked, but it's
Right.
like now I'm getting myself back to that, to how I need to be, because I know I wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for prayer, and if
Right.
it wasn't for me, being thankful to God every day, just waking up, even if it's just a thank you, God, for waking me up, let me see another day. That's even if it's just that, then that's cool. But I know I wouldn't be here where I'm at now, and I know I won't make it where I'm going in the future without him. So
Right.
it's like, I mean, you gotta have that faith, man. It's just what you came out of, what you dealt with, childhood and all. I mean, yeah, you had to have some strong faith, and I know there's some tough times, man. You had to have prayer. I
Right.
mean, my situation was different from you and Mike. Now, I didn't have my dad around. He was there, but he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there. But my mom, she damn sure bust her butt. She did everything she had to. Me and her didn't always see eye to eye, but I knew she loved me, and I knew what she was doing.
Right.
I knew when she went to work in two jobs.
Mm.
I knew what the issue was. I knew what the real was. Like,
Right.
a lot of people ask me, "I ain't play ball." I wanted to, but at the time with so much stuff going on, like, it didn't feel right. It didn't fit the mold for me. It just
Right.
didn't fit. Like,
Yeah.
I was 16. Was I 16? Yeah, I think I was about 16, man. I in my second year actually working. and I started paying the cable bill
Mm.
and chipping in, giving my mama money on a light bill because it
Yeah.
just got rough. She was going through a divorce,
Mm.
and it was harder. So that's when I finally started buying all my own clothes when I was 15 and stuff. Like it just got like okay, trying to grow up a lot quicker. Sports wasn't on my to do list like that no
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So it's like
Understandable.
yeah, I saw all of this. So like I mean, I don't know, man. People just gotta have faith in every situation different, but just come together with prayer and you get through everything, man. It's like Mike's situation. That's different. I haven't been down that road. I haven't. So I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend like I know what Mike went through. I'll be a damn fool. Nor are you, Tim.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a like I said, I can think about those moments, man. Like, I mean, I ain't grew up without my dad, and the man that my mom's married to now, man, he came into our life when I guess they started dating when I was around 15 or 16 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I did have my grandpa and my uncles and stuff like that, but I do feel like a lot of the things that people go through. I know we talked about marriage and stuff like that, and the topic was Will Smith and Jada, but I feel like this transition off. I feel like the relationships that what I'm saying that we develop, sometimes they don't work out because I think one of y'all touched on this. I think it was Mike. We some people never seen what a strong relationship is or was or anything like that. Like they don't have anything to relate their own relationships to. Like sometimes like you end up being in a household where your mom is angry and hurt, you know what I'm saying, and bitter because the man that she thought that she loved and was never gonna leave her is gone. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you have tendencies or you have features that might remind her of that. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
then she's so hurt and so broken. So I mean, she basically like start relationships in relationships, and the cycle just keep going on and on and on. That's why I say, man, like it's so important for us like to understand, you know what I'm saying, like the hurt that the black society, like the black culture has went through. And a lot of the broken relationships that are developed, and like you said, with the power of social media, why people put their business out here, why they breaking up every 5 minutes, it's because we're so broken as a society, man. When we first got here in 1619, they broke us from our culture. You know what I'm saying? They put us, you know what I'm saying? They separated us from our families. They gave us different last names than what our ancestors were originally had. And you know what I'm saying? They just generation after generation constantly just broke us down. In the 60s, they gave women and stuff like that assistance in order for, you know what I'm saying, like the only stipulation was a man can't be in the household. So you had single mothers out here, you know what I'm saying? Kids didn't have their fathers in their life. So I feel like, man, that has a lot to do with the black culture and sometimes how we deal with relationships because we have nothing to relate to. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we got to find that strength somewhere. And I'm about like Mike said, man, it's about breaking them chains, man. It's about breaking these curses. Like don't just settle for less. Don't just settle for less just because society tells you that you're not good enough. Like
Right.
bust your ass and go out there, man, and break these chains. Like my daddy wouldn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I met him when I was like 23 years old, and I wouldn't even met him if my half sister didn't reach out to me on Facebook, and she just so happened to stay in Dallas at the time when I was in Dallas, and I was working overnight, and she came to the store I was working at, and she called him on the phone, and that's how I was able to talk to him. I haven't talked to him honestly in probably over a year. And the only thing this guy ever gave me, he gave me a table for my house and a Chinese dinner when I met him out in Houston for the first time. My primary goal, I can easily be like, man, my dad went there. I can, you know what I'm saying? My dad was worthless. I'm gonna be worthless. Nah, I want to be the best dad that I can be for my son.
And
Period.
see,
You
that's that
know?
mindset. That's also the mindset of the people that's around you when you growing up. If you didn't have strong-minded people that was like, "No, be better, do better," then yeah, you can always fall into that trap. And
Right.
we had that around us. We had people saying, "Nah, do better. Don't be like that. You see what he's doing, or you see what this and that." So. Don't you do it?
Right.
But everybody doesn't have that kind of encouraging support system around them. They just end up falling in line and just doing the same thing. Just basically, like you said, just repeating the curse.
Right.
It's a never ending circle.
Right. I mean, that's just the way I feel, man. Like I feel like I want to be a much better man than he ever was to me. You know what I'm saying? I know, you know what I'm saying? I know when I take pictures of my son, sometimes be overkill on social media or whatever. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how crazy I look. I don't care how many pictures I put up. I love my son. You know what I'm saying? I want him to understand the love that I have for him. You know what I'm saying? I want him to know that his dad is going to be there for him. And maybe, you know what I'm saying, a part of, like I said, the part of me, even though, like I said, I had father figures in my life, you know what I'm saying, that taught me how to be a man. But it's nothing like your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing like that.
Nah,
It's
it's
nothing
not.
like a guy that shares your same DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is nothing like that. And I take it very, very serious, man. Like so serious. And
That's a good thing.
yeah,
I
you
mean,
know, so
we need more black men to do that. We need just more black people in general to take parenting serious and
yeah,
just be more on the up and up in what we teaching our kids and what we're allowing them to see and do. I mean,
right,
we just need to be more involved as a people altogether. I mean, it's not
exactly.
just the men, because it's the women too. I mean, we have good men out here that are not allowed to see their kids, and the women will use the court systems against them just so they just be spiteful, just because he doesn't want to be with you. So in that case, you're going to use the kids, and you're going to hurt the kids and scar the child emotionally, and for the rest of their. Man, you stupid. But I mean,
Stepdad of the millennium.
a lot of stuff we just have to change, and we can start with the way we raise our kids. That's a
Mhm.
start, and then we can also start by looking in the mirror and changing ourselves,
Yep.
and just kind of bring it back around, like modeling after Will and Jada. Man, we don't all know their full story. We
Thank
hear
you.
rumors. We hear
Thank you.
rumors. We
Thank you.
hear what they want us to hear. For the
Yeah,
most part,
exactly.
we don't know. We like nobody knew they were separated until this whole thing came out by August Alsina.
Right.
Nobody knew. Like that wasn't news. That
Yeah.
wasn't breaking news.
I don't even think
People
me
people
personally,
gotta get a grip.
I don't even think they were separated. I don't.
Me
I
me
think they
honestly,
put
I
that
don't
story
think they were either.
I think they put that story about separation out there because they
It
didn't want
looked
people
better.
to follow up. They didn't want people to follow up to and really you know what I'm saying, prove the narrative that they live that type of lifestyle where they allow each other hall passes to step out to quench their sexual desires. That's just me. That I feel like they said that because is more is I guess it's more understanding for them to be separated and her have August Alsina in her life than him know about it and then August catching feelings and airing out dirty laundry. I think that's just what it is. I think that's what you know what I'm saying. I think that's the story that they want us to believe. I feel like what August said was true. I feel like Will knew about it. I feel like Will probably didn't care. But the moment where August Alsina like start airing it out, it started to like convince, like it made them retaliate or you know, and they didn't come out right away. If you notice, like they didn't come out right away. They took some days. And if you looked at the 13-minute interview, I mean, they were basically in unison. It's like they rehearsed what they were gonna say, which
We ride together, we die together. Bad marriage for life. Come
right,
on, man.
man,
You mean to tell me that was unscripted? Come on,
man,
man.
yep. It was just
The only
horrible.
thing now you can look at that interview and tell one person was extremely bothered and the other person wasn't. Now I don't give a damn how good of an actor Will is, which he's a great actor, but that boy was hurt. The look in his
Yeah,
eyes was genuine hurt. You can look. I don't give a damn
uh,
who you are. I don't care what type of damn marriage you are. As a man, a two-ball swinging man, you don't want your woman going out there getting dicked down by a young Thundercat coming back home. I don't give a damn who you are. No
right.
man want their wife getting dicked down by a young Thundercat. Shit, now That boy got stamina that you ain't got no more. Real what? August in his 20s. Come on, man. That boy was working Jada, man. When you
Wow.
can't work Jada like that boy was working Jada, that man
Oh
hurt.
man. Oh.
And they hurt him even worse because Jada was laughing the shit off, man. That man hurt. Don't be surprised
Right.
about a week or two you hear about a divorce now. I don't give a damn what you say.
So
That
you
man
really
was hurt.
think? So you really think he was that hurt? You don't think
Yeah.
like?
It wasn't so fact of him being hurt to him. He was hurt without a doubt. But
Mm-hmm.
more so he's embarrassed, bro.
Right.
Yeah,
The
that
embarrassment is
embarrassment
a
is
motherfucker.
terrible.
Yeah.
When the shit was
Right.
under the table and not in the public eye, it was cool. It was
Mm-hmm.
all right, it happened. Nobody know. But when that
Right.
shit hit the fan and the public became, a whole nother level of embarrassment came, man. That boy was hurt. That boy
Wow.
would had that same face in that episode with his daddy left him with that damn statue. What the hell with him?
Yep.
Ben
That boy
Vereen.
was hurt.
Talk about the
That
Ben
boy
Vereen
was hurt.
episode.
Man, shit. Only thing missing was Uncle Phil to hold that boy, cause man, he was hurt.
Oh man. I mean, I like I said, I just feel like the whole thing was just basically scripted. I think he knew that for a while. You know what I'm saying? I think this story isn't new to them. I think it's just new to us. You know, I mean, but
Nah,
they did have a story.
it's
They did have
definitely
a
old.
story out about them, though. They did have a story out about them, and then all of a sudden, it just went away. Which, I feel like that's just the power of Hollywood. You know, like they'll issue on the people that they want to issue on, but they protect the ones that they feel like they consider elite. So, I mean, I don't me if I feel like this. What is going to convince me about this whole thing is August Alsina's career going forward. Okay. Now, if August Alsina just start winning back to back to back to back, I'm gonna be like, man, it's a publicity stunt. But if he just get this one and done, if he get his Zion Williamson on the one and done, one album and he out of here, we don't hear about him no more, then I'll be like, okay, all right, he overstepped his bounds. Because I really feel like he sat on this story and I don't know if they just did it to help him or not. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like a part of me feel like they knew about it. They know he was gonna come out with it. Maybe not to that extent, but they probably, you know what I'm saying, knew he was gonna come out with it. But we'll see. We'll see down the line. I got one more question for y'all, man, before we wrap this up. I mean, I got to talk about some of these issues that's going on in society right now, man. The Black Lives Matter movement. I mean, it's a real powerful thing right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not one of those things that just in the news and going away. People are really protesting. People really want change. Things are coming down. Racist monuments and stuff like that coming down. I want to know what y'all think. I'm gonna start with Mike. Mike, what do you think about the Black Lives Matter movement? And you being in Mississippi, man, with racism, you know what I'm saying? Like that's racism capital right there. What do you think about like some of these moves that they making, man? I mean, a new state flag, though. I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, shout out to that. But that only hit the ground running when the SEC threatened to move out of the Mississippi. Football is big and that's power here.
Wow.
First and foremost, my opinion is I'm gonna say this: all lives matter. That's true. But right now, the world we're focusing on Black Lives Matter. What I am is a black man. My life matters. The reason why Black Lives Matter is we're moving into the forefront is because, again, true, all lives matter. But when you look at the sum of the world, who get pushed out by themselves? It's Black lives. When you look at the world as a whole, the white community would rather embrace the Asian community. They would rather embrace the Indian community and the Hispanic community before they go and embrace us.
Right.
We're the minority of this country. So that's why we're screaming Black Lives Matter. We want equal rights. We want equal
Right.
opportunity. We want
Right.
things that are afforded for us. And I know this is not the topic, but man, as 2020, as a 37-year-old black male, I look back at the world because I did not exist at this time. It's hard for me to fathom that a motherfucker once owned a motherfucker. I cannot fathom that. You mean to tell me at one point somebody owned somebody? No,
Wow. Yeah,
that's
man.
unimaginable. As living in this free world that we live in today, I can't imagine if I jumped in a time machine, went back to 17, 19, and saw my great ancestor say, "I can't go with you. I'm master's boy." Man, I
Mm-hmm.
can't believe. But that's where it
Wow.
comes to. You look at a race owned another race.
Mm.
So yeah, we're trying to fight that. We're still trying to fight the chains that were put on us years ago.
Right.
We're still trying to get things that was given to y'all. We have to fight for things that were given to them.
Mm.
We're trying our best to get the things that like somebody said, they had the 400-year head start on us. We're just now starting to crawl out of that gutter.
Right.
And it's sad, but yeah, I mean, and no, all white people are not bad. I have some really close friends who are white, and I love them to death.
Yeah.
And but it's just the people look at the overall stigma, just like all black people aren't good because we got black people who do each other dirty.
Mm.
But I mean, the
Boy.
state of the world right now is. I hope that the world goes forward and let everybody get their equal rights. We deserve it. We're living human beings like everybody else. We want good things. We work for good things. And if y'all ever get a chance, listen to Chris Rock stand up when he said there's a difference between black people and niggas.
Yep.
There's a huge difference. He was right,
It's a huge difference.
and I like it. But yeah, man, the state of it is, I'm happy for the progress. Um, I'm glad that I'm able to see it in my lifetime. It took Malcolm's by any means necessary for it to get started. God rest his soul.
Mm.
The protest helped. I thank God for George Floyd for being a martyr for what's going on now.
Right.
Unfortunately, he lost his life,
Yeah.
but the world would not have taken a stance without Mr. George Floyd, and I thank him for that. And
Yeah,
it's
man.
our time to get the world right like it needs to be done.
All right. I mean, man, you hit the nail on the head, man. Uh, man, these issues that's going on, and I feel like you started off when you saw about all lives matter. That's one of those. That's one of those political statements. Once again, that's one of those political statements that people like to put out there in order for them to try to combat what's really going on. And you have people out here that are so I'm gonna just call it what it is. Stupid. They are so stupid that they can't think for themselves. They think that they're thinking for themselves, but they're really not. Okay, I had a conversation with the guy that actually trained me for a store management position. I won't call his name. I won't say his name or anything like that. But Mike, you'll probably know he actually managed out in Yazoo City. You know what I'm saying, at the store that I worked at. So we were having this conversation, and this guy, you know what I'm saying, it was during the time of Juneteenth, and I was like, man, okay, it's cool. People talking about Juneteenth now. Now it's time to make it a national holiday. His response was, y'all already got Black History Month. Why would y'all need a national holiday? I'm like, huh? What? I'm like, why can't we have a national holiday? You know what I'm saying? Like on July 4th, 1776, they weren't thinking about us. You know what I'm saying? Like all them different rules and all that kind of stuff. We hold this truth to be self-evident that all men are created equal. White men, but not black men. You know what I'm saying? Like they like Dave Chappelle, another comedian. He said, man, they weren't thinking about me. He said they was outside saying, nigga, go make me a sandwich while I'm writing this down. You know what I'm saying? So that's the fact. Okay, so why wouldn't it? And then he said, I'm tired of this. He was like, man, it's no different between you and me. You got racists out here. I'm like, that ought to cut it off right there, because you got racist people out here that just hate me just for the simple fact that I'm black. So that automatically, there are people that don't consider me to be equal than you. Then he even doubled down on it and said that the world don't look at him any differently than they look at me. I mean, I'm telling this is true. This is true shit.
This a guy of the Caucasian skin color, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's a white guy.
That's not true. The world looks at them differently. We get treated differently because, like, I see it with my customers. Like, some of my customers, I go in their home and I can tell there's a bit of uneasiness.
Right.
And it's not even, and they don't even know me. First time meeting me. But it's because of my skin color.
Right.
I already know. Like, and I can tell when it's really bad because then they get to following me everywhere. Like, okay, I'm going outside to check the box on the side of your house. Okay, I'm walking to the alley to look at the pole. Why are you following me to the alley? Why are you following me in the attic? What am I gonna do up there?
Right.
You know, and I see it, and it's some people. I've met some cool white people,
Mm-hmm.
and I've even had a few come up to me and be like, you know, I had one customer. It kind of touched me that day. It was man, it was super hot, middle of
Mm-hmm.
the day. I think she was my last job for the day,
Mm-hmm.
and she just stopped me in the middle of her backyard. We was walking towards the alley, and she
Mm-hmm.
stopped me in the middle of her backyard. I'm just like, you know what? I want to say thank you, and I'm sorry for what's going on with African Americans today
Wow.
because it's not right, you
Wow.
know. And she was like, I know we got the whole COVID thing going on, but some just telling me in my heart to just give you a hug. And she was like, is that all
Wow.
right? She was like, is it all right if I give you a hug real quick? I said,
Wow.
you sure? I said, I am pretty sweaty. She
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not worried about that. I'm like, okay. And it was a older white lady. And I'm like, you know, it's not everybody out here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a few that have the power or the position to make it look like it's all when it's not the case. It's only a few of them, and it's crazy, man. It's sad at the same time. It's just sad. Like
Yeah,
a
man,
lot
it
of
is.
a lot of people don't know. I'm not racist for nothing. I don't care about your race. I judge people by they mind and their heart.
Yeah, character. You're right.
And like my great granddad was white. A lot of people
Mm.
don't know that.
Wow.
Like, yeah, my great granddad is white. My best friend Mike, he part white. You know, it just
I, no, for real. My great granddaddy was
I
white.
I
yeah.
believe it.
I
Like,
mean,
I believe it.
it's
I
just
believe
crazy. And I'm like, bro, why the racism?
it.
Even yesterday, we were out and we seen what was about to be a nasty fight between a black woman and a white woman.
Mm.
So, and the white woman knew she wasn't finna win. So the only thing she could do to try to get the woman to back up, which was a bad idea,
Mm.
she screamed out white power.
Wow.
Oh man.
And I'm like,
Mm-mm.
why would you do that with all of these black people around here? If the right wrong people heard you,
You could never
you
hurt.
probably wouldn't have made it out of this place today.
Mm.
Not walking on your own 2 feet. Like it's crazy that people feel comfortable enough to sit there and scream that out in a public place or to even display that.
Mm.
And my kids were right there and they were like, what's going on? What did she say? And I'm like, oh man, I never wanted them to see no mess like that. But I can't hide them, I can't shield them from everything.
Mm.
And the fact that it was in a public family area, I'm like, that's even worse.
Right. But
Like,
I mean, I feel like people like Donald Trump give these people a hall pass. They think that they empowered to say anything, and they feel like though saying nothing gonna happen to them.
yeah,
It's crazy because it's almost like the reverse of what happened in 2008 where Obama became president for the first time. All of a sudden, black people just felt like, okay, like, man, we got a
we
black
got it.
president now.
Yeah,
So now it's like I feel like all these races and these bigots, they're like, okay, yeah, we got somebody that speak our language now. Now we are in control. You got these people out here that have crawled out of the swamp that haven't never ever voted in their life. You know what I'm saying? Got in their pickup truck with the tall antenna. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way they could get the radio. And they went out there to somebody poll and they voted for them. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
But I say it
Because
like this. I'm telling everybody out here, like, rather you just casually strolling through YouTube right now, you're looking at this live or Facebook live, like it's over for racism. Like it's over for y'all. Like they don't realize how stupid they're gonna look in a couple years or even in a couple months when people vote this guy out of office. Okay, they vote him
not even
out of office, and you've been exposed. You've been completely exposed. People like,
right.
and the next person that actually comes in that people vote for to try to mend relationships, they're gonna be trying to mend stuff and change legislation and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna look like the biggest idiot in the world, and ain't nobody gonna want to deal with you because society is slowly starting to prove to us that they ain't about this. I mean, think about this, man. Think about the Washington freaking Redskins. 87 years they have had the name of some type of, you know what I'm saying, like Native American type logo or something.
And they've been pressed
Nike,
for years and years and years to
man.
change the name. The
Nike,
only reason they
FedEx,
changed their name, thank you. That's it. Money.
Nike,
Them two,
FedEx,
them
out
two
of there.
giants came up and said, change the name
Yep,
or we pulling.
yep.
Oh, money talk. What they
Power.
say? Money. What they say in your industry, Mike? Money talk. Bullshit. Wrong.
Yep. And that's the truth. It's about change. I mean, it's about change. It's over for him, man.
He doesn't want to change their name. That's all because he trying to keep them dollars coming in. And even now, it's still threatened because they got this whole situation going on. They got their own little entanglement going on with all these sexual allegations and rapes.
The damn name. He need to change the name. Hell, they ain't been relevant in goddamn forever. A new name may help you win something. But man, it's 2020, man. It's time for all racism to be gone, man. That shit over with, man. That shit go away.
Over with.
Man. God knows I'm not racist. I have like Julius, man. My great grandfather's white. Man, I love all races. I love Asians. I love learning about different races. I love all of it. Hell, man, I love coming to work and talking with my white co-workers, man. We don't look at each other as black and white, man. Yeah, we just sit there and just talk to each other like we cool. We go out to eat, hang out, cool, have a good time, man. It ain't about no racism. All that racism shit need to be over with, man. We are one world. And if the good Lord let the world live to see another 1,000 years, I guarantee you it will not be a pure race on this earth. It's going to be a race of just a mixed breed if the good Lord let this world spin for another 1,000 years.
Yep. I'm just happy that people are waking up and they just like, man, we ain't taking this no more. Like, like I said, they taking down them statues. Mississippi, they changing their flag. I wish that they changed the name on the reservoir. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Ross Barnett needs to get the hell up out of there too. You know what I'm saying? I still can't. I am going to continuously say this. This is the same man that went to Ole Miss, and he went down there to distinctly deny James Meredith access to Ole Miss. I feel like that man name don't need to be on nowhere. This guy is the same man that shook hands with Byron Beckwith, the man that assassinated Medgar Evers, in court in front of everybody. I feel like people like that need to get up out of here. He was a part of the Southern, I think the Southern Council or whatever like that. The same Southern Council that had them the whole good old boy network, got all these different mayors and senators and stuff like that to have legislation to try to oppress Black people in Mississippi. Get that clown up out of here. I don't care what anybody says. That's the person I feel like name don't need to be on anything. But I mean, I just feel like it's over for all these races out here. You can wave your Trump flag in your yard, and I see plenty of them around here. You can wave your Trump flag, you can wear your Trump shirt, you can go to them pop-up shops that I be seeing, tents and stuff like that people be having out there. Whatever you feel. But like I said, it's rather a couple years or a couple months. You are going to be exposed, and the whole world is going to see you. And you have uncovered yourself. So it's not like you can go back, because now people see you for the racist bigot that you are. And when the world starts to move, you're going to get left behind.
And I'm going to say this was crazy. I don't even think majority of these so-called Trump supporters are actually true Trump supporters. A lot of them, they're stuck in their old-fashioned ways of thinking, and they didn't want to see a woman take office. They didn't want to see Hillary take office. They didn't want another Black person to even attempt to run for office. And then a lot of people, they just didn't want Bernie Sanders to win. Just because of the way he thinks. It's so outside of the box and unorthodox. So what was the best thing to do was to follow suit with an idiot in a suit.
Julius, let me say this, Julius. It's not like you hit the nail on the head, but I think it's a little bit more deeper than that. It's the representation of what he represents. And the thing about it is how stupid
he learned how to speak on people's ignorance. Like what people what they don't understand and they fear, he learned how to speak on it and flip it so that he can pull them in on his side. And It's like you spoke on, like, prime example, get these Mexicans out of here. Dude, you hired how many illegal immigrants to work at your hotels and stuff and golf resorts? Come on, man, really?
Right. It's the representation. You know, like back in the day, right? During the Civil War, when the South like disassociated themselves from the North and they became like their own country or whatever, so to speak. What did they have? They had the rebel flag, they had the Confederate flag as a representation, right? You know what I'm saying? The South, and then when they lost the war, they kept the flag, you know what I'm saying, as a representation of, okay, eventually we're gonna go back to the way things were. So that's one symbol. You know what I'm saying? Like the "Don't Tread on Me" sign. These black and blue American flag signs representing the police. Like, and Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? Like talking about sending Mexicans back to, you know what I'm saying, to where they came from. You know what I'm saying? All these different, you know what I'm saying, things that he's doing to offend people. It's the representation, man. People wear these shirts because they're almost similar to almost like wearing Ku Klux Klan type stuff. Not everybody, you know what I'm saying? Some people like just like the guy. But a lot of these people out here, they feel like it's almost similar to them actually wearing Ku Klux Klan sheets. You know what I'm saying? Like that, to them. You know what I'm saying? That's how they feel about him. Yeah, and I just feel like I said, it's over for them clowns, man. Like they can wear as many shirts as they want to. Eventually, the world is going to change. Eventually, people are just going to be like, man, enough of this. And they can keep on doing this if they want to, but they're just going to get left behind. Man, but I know we're about to get up out of here, man. I'm just going to give y'all boys the final word, man. I want to say thank y'all for being a part of this podcast, man. Episode number 1. Man, some great conversation, man. So just thank y'all, man. I'm going to start with Julius, man. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Not really, man. I think I done said enough, man. You know, we really need to just work on ourselves and come together and work on us as a people. Not even just saying black people, but everyone just needs to really work together and improve on what we have. Like you see now, everything can easily be taken away from us, especially with this damn virus. So that should be enough to be like, all right, you know what? Differences aside, we need to come together,
right,
and make things better. That's all, man.
Yeah, man. Mike, what about you, man? Final word.
Jackson State is the greatest HBCU in the world. The Sonic Boom of the South is the best band in the world.
This guy here.
The University of Georgia Bulldogs is the best.
Trash.
D1 in the world. Miami Hurricanes suck.
Georgia terrible.
God is good. Chris Smith, I ain't never heard of a nigga named Chris Smith. Everybody under 5 feet name should be Marcus. Tim Jones' mama make the best seafood casserole
hey.
And man, it's all good. I love the world. I love everybody. Coronavirus sucks. It's fucking with football season. Miami is the greatest city in the world. I want to move there one day, but the Hurricanes suck.
Well, you a lot. You go there, you gonna be a Kane fan for life.
You done had your final word. Leave it alone.
Say we about to wrap it up, right, Mike? We about to get up out of here.
We wrapping it up like Dave Chappelle said. Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
Getting the chords there. Getting them chords. But man, once again, man. But thank y'all, man, so much. This has been the Unapologetic Podcast, episode number 1. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com. Search The Unapologetic Podcast. Also available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your streaming apps from, man. We're available. Man, we're off and running, man. So hopefully you'll be a part of the experience, and we see you next time. And like always, we global. Peace.